This was my first Penelope Douglas, and now we have the train. It's going to be here for a while. Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Katie, for those of you who are new. And in today's video, I just thought we would appreciate the daddies of the book world.
Daddy, chill.
You know, in honor of Father's Day, I am going to give you guys some recs for single dad romances. So, first off, I think I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, like six or seven, and some of these are probably going to be really well known, and you're like, duh. And then I hope I have like a couple that you guys have never heard of. So, I felt like I had to start with like the ones that everyone knows or probably has read. Now, to me, a single dad does not mean the child has to be a certain age or younger. Because if the man just happens to be in his 40s and the kid is in his 20s and he's not married, he's still a single dad. He still fits the category. So we're going with it. So the first single dad that I want to give appreciation to is none other than Pike from Birthday Girl. This is the first daddy that I ever read. And when I say daddy, I mean he's a daddy. This man, this book, look, I'm still like, every time I look at my cover of Birthday Girl, I kick myself because all I want is that Mystic cover. People are crazy and they're selling for like $1,300. And I love you, Pike, but I don't love you $1,300 worth. I just don't. I'm sorry. So if you're not new to the book world, you've heard of Birthday Girl. It is an ex's dad's romance, which a lot of, well, not a lot of, but another one that I have on this list is also, I have a thing for ex's dads, okay? But we got Pike. Pike is just your all-American dad. You know, he's blue collar. He owns his own construction company. He has his own house. He has his truck. Like, he's just, you know, he's got it somewhat together compared to other people in the world nowadays. You know, he has his stuff together. And he meets our heroine the day of her birthday. She's at the movies by herself because her boyfriend stood her up because her boyfriend is trash. That's another thing about like ex's dads. The boyfriends are always trash. They're just trash. And our hero is also watching the movie, so they kind of connect, and then by the end of the movie, she gets a phone call or a text, like her boyfriend couldn't make it, and then the Pike gets a phone call from, I think, the son saying he's in jail, and then that's when they kind of realize, oh, you're my boyfriend's dad, oh, you're my son's girlfriend. Yeah. So eventually things happen, and Jordan and the son have to move in with Pike. And then that's when the feelings start to develop. It's a slow burn, but there's just, I love this book so much. My first Penelope Douglas, so good. It's a staple for a reason. Like, if you're just jumping into like taboo, kind of forbidden, give this one a shot. But like everyone I feel like has read this now at this point, but it's just so good. And Pike, number one. Okay, now if you want something a little more spicier, but you still want a single dad, Praise by Sarah Kate. This is book 1 in the Salacious Players Club series. And in this book, we are following Emerson. I couldn't remember his name for a second. We're following Daddy Emerson. And he is one of the co-owners of the Salacious Players Clubs, which is basically a sex club where people can go and explore their different fantasies, their different kinks, but in a safe place. He has a son named Beau. Beau is also trash. There is a theme in these books. However, Beau does get like a redemption book later on in the series. Blah, 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 okay? So in this, we're following Charlie. Charlie is Beau's ex-girlfriend, and they just broke up, and she needs her half of like the deposit for where they were staying. And he's like, my dad's got it. You got to go to my dad's house. And she's like, okay. So she goes to the dad's house, and he mistakenly thinks that she is one of the girls that his co-owner sent him over to be one of his girls, like secretary. So like the first time they meet, he's like on your knees, and she's like in her monologues like, excuse me? And she's like, okay, I need this money, so I'm gonna get on my knees. And then it all comes out that, oh my gosh, you're my son's ex, blah blah blah. But she's very intrigued by this whole lifestyle that he has, and he does end up giving her a real secretary job. But little by little she learns about this lifestyle. They're attracted to each other, things just start to happen, and she soon finds out that she loves praise. She loves praise. He loves praising her, and now I love praise. It's what if you love like good girl, like if you just love the saying good girl, you're gonna love this book. Plus, just Daddy Emerson is just he's just, yeah, top tier daddy. Okay, the next book is one that I don't have physically, but it is called Always Her Love by Melissa Foster. And so in this book, we are following Levi, and Levi is a single dad to like a 8-year-old daughter, and he is like a part of it's like a motorcycle club, but it's a very like light motorcycle club. There's not much to do. So if you're like looking for a motorcycle club, this ain't it. It's very light, okay? And he does everything he can for his daughter. So basically, in this book, the mom's trash, okay? The mom is trash. She is trash, okay? Basically, she got pregnant in college, and she's like, look, you can either keep this baby, or I'm going to give it up for adoption, or I'm just going to end the pregnancy. And he's like, please don't, stay with the pregnancy, and as soon as she's born, I'll take her. And that's what happens. He takes her in, he raises her, he loves her, it's his daughter. And the mother's sister is actually the complete opposite of the mother. She's very nice, very caring, very loving, and she's had a crush on the hero for years, since they've been little kids. And so she helps him raise this little girl, and every summer and during spring break and summer, she comes to stay with them and just kind of helps raise her niece. And apparently this spring break, this summer, is the one where they're finally going to let their feelings for each other just kind of blossom. And I loved this book. I love Melissa Foster. Not a lot of people talk about her, but I love her writing. And he'll do anything for his daughter, and he'll do anything for the heroine. And the name is escaping me right now. He is Levi. She is Tara. That was her name, Tara. So if you're looking for like kind of taboo, kind of forbidden, because like she's the aunt, her sister's the mom, but the mom's trash. The mom is trash. And you see it played out in the book. She's trash. So I don't feel bad about him getting with the aunt. I don't feel bad. I don't feel bad at all. Oh, that's also book 4 in the series, but they can be read as standalones. So like you don't have to go like read book 1 to, yeah, you can read it as standalone. Okay, the next book, I also don't have a physical copy of this, but this is Then and Now. And this is 4 or 5. This is book 5 in the Dogwood Cove series, but again, they can all be read as standalones. So in this book, our hero in this is Leo, and he is a cop in Dogwood Cove. He hasn't lived there his whole life, but him and his family all kind of just like moved there together. And when he was in high school, he was dating Serena, and something happens to where Serena wanted to be this famous dancer, and she's like, I have to get out of the small town they were living in. So she goes and tries out being this dancer, and she gets hurt. And now we're years later, and Serena is just so happens to move into Dogwood Cove to start up a dance studio, because she can no longer do dancing full time because of the injury that she had. And Leo has a little daughter, about 5 or 6, 4 or 5, 6, and she wants to take up dancing. So that is how they are introduced back into each other's lives. And she's very hesitant about starting up anything because of what happened in the past, as is he. But can they just be friends? No. So this is also a second chance romance if that's your thing. And I just enjoyed it. It's small town. All the side characters are really great. And again, it can be read as a standalone. But he's a cop. There's also something like in town. This isn't like a romantic suspense, but there is stuff like going on in town that he kind of has to like figure out what's going on. And like she kind of gets involved a little bit, but it's not like it's like romantic suspense or anything. There's just like a little side plot of that going on. But I really enjoyed it. It was my first book by this author and definitely won't be my last. I just haven't gotten a chance to read any more from her in a while. And from there, we are going to go to Runaway Love by Melanie Harlow. This is book 1 in the Cherry Tree Harbor. There's so many series, goodness gracious. Okay, so in this book, we are following Veronica, and Veronica is a runaway bride. It's the day of her wedding, and she's like, peace out. I gotta go. And I cannot remember why. I cannot remember why she's running away. It's slipping my mind. It doesn't matter. At this point, it does not matter. But she runs away to this Cherry Tree Harbor town, and she meets this girl who is basically like, somehow they get to talking, and she's like, I need to find a nanny for my brother because, oh, that's right, because she normally babysits her, I think they're nieces. It could be a niece and nephew. Her people, but she usually babysits them, but she's going out of the country for the summer, so she's helping her brother find someone. And Veronica's like, I have no experience, but I think I will be great for this position. Only in a book, you know. So she goes to the house in her wedding dress, and Austin, who is the hero, answers the door, and he's like, no. I mean, of course, they're both like already physically attracted to each other, but he's like, no, you're crazy. You are a psycho on my porch in a wedding dress. But as we all know, she does get the job, and she ends up being the nanny for his 2 kids. And the, relationship just kind of blossoms from there. She's very outgoing, and oh my gosh, I can't remember everything about this book because it's been a year or 2 since I've read this, but I just remember that I liked it. I gave it 4 or 5 stars, but he's a single dad, so he definitely fits the recommendations. And then we have Irresistible by Melanie Harlow again, but this is book 1 in the Cloverleaf Farm series, and in this one, Mac is the daddy in this, and he's got 3 daughters. I am pretty sure they're daughters, and now I'm like, are they? But I'm pretty sure they're all daughters. And then we have Franny, and Franny's family owns Cloverleaf Farms, which is kind of like this, I want to call it it's like a hotel, but it's also like it's got like a distillery, and it's also like a wedding venue type place. And Mac is the like CFO, the chief finance officer, and she kind of moonlights as his nanny from time to time. And there's a slight age gap, so like when this all starts, like the feelings start emerging, he's like, well, we can't because my age, blah blah blah. But he loves his daughters, she loves his daughters, and it's just a cute little romance because eventually they realize they can't not be together. They cannot not be together. Yep, that's how I'm going to say that. They cannot not be together. And it's cute, and it's the first in the series, and I need to continue. There's so many books and so little time. And then the final book I want to talk about, look, okay, this one is tough because yes, he's a single dad. Until somebody in the book, okay? So technically that wouldn't even be he was not even a single dad, Katie. Right? Like, he's not. Yes, he is. Oh my God, I'm insane. Okay. And the last book I want to talk about is one of the newest ones that I read this year, and it is What I Should Have Said by Max Monroe. Before I say anything about this book, there is no triggers in anywhere printed on this book. But if you have triggers specifically about children, anything happening to children, like illness, chronic illness, the next step, chronic illness, then you should possibly look them up, because I feel like it's a spoiler if I say, but I feel like y'all need to know, because I did not know going in. And then and to me, I could still read it, but some people, I read them, and then the reviews were like, why didn't you put this as a trigger? So it will be in the description if you want to know the full trigger. Just know that the little girl in this, she battles, and I cannot think of the word. It's when your bones, it's the brittle bone disease. So she battles that in this book. So in this book, in the beginning, we're following Nora. Nora's about to get married to this very rich, high society man. She is from a well-to-do family, and she's pretty much doing this because, like, her mom was like, you're gonna do this, because her mom is trash. So many people, so many trash. And someone slips something under the door, and it's like an envelope, and it has a lot of things inside. And when she reads what's inside, she's like, okay, I gotta go. I gotta book it. There's no way I can marry this man. So she ends up going up to Vermont, where her sister, it's her estranged sister. She hasn't talked to her since she was about 18, and she's now 26. And she goes, and the bus leaves her off at like the edge of town, and she needs to get to the other edge of town. So she's walking with her like Louis Vuitton suitcases and like her designer gear. And this broody man comes and stop. Well, actually, he doesn't stop. She kind of like throws herself in front of the truck, and he eventually he stops and he gives her a ride. And that is our hero named Bennett. He is, in his inner monologue, he is like, this woman needs to shut up, because she's nervous and talks a lot. And he's like, she is a pain. So much so that he kicks her out halfway through the ride, and he's like, just go. Just go. And of course he follows her to make sure she gets to her sisters and everything. But cute meet cute, but he's a grump. He's a grumpy grumpy grump. And she is Sunshine. And he is a single dad to his daughter. I cannot remember the daughter's name at this point, but she does have brittle bone disease. And he happens to be this artist that he's actually very well to do. He's a very well-known artist, and a lot of people pay money for his things, but he has just not been painting lately. And his sister is like, you need to start painting. And he's like, I can't. I have my daughter. I need someone to watch her. And she's like, fine, I will find you someone to watch. I will get you an assistant. And lo and behold, that assistant turns out to be Nora, and she has this great relationship with his little girl. And his little girl loves pink and like pink sunglasses, and that's like where the sunglasses on the cover comes from. And they just join. They're just oh, she's so cute. And the relationship blossoms, and it's great. And then something happens in the book, and it's sad. It's sad. So check the triggers. I mean, I guess you can kind of get what I'm hinting around. I'm just trying not to spoil it, but like you can kind of get the idea. And of course, when that happens, he goes through a lot, because I'm not going to say anymore. Great book. It was such a great book. I bawled my eyes out. Please just check your triggers if you've got any. Okay, those are all the books. I don't even know how many that was, but I hope you found some that maybe you haven't thought to read, or maybe you've heard of, but you're never like, I don't think I'm going to give it a try. Give them a try. Give all the single daddies a try. They deserve all the love, because they're doing the part of two parents. So let me know down below if you've read any of these books, or if you have any single father recs down below. Please leave them in the comment section, or if you just want to leave me an emoji to let me know that you were here, because it really does help my channel. Leave me. Is there like a dad emoji? There is, right? There's like a guy emoji. Just leave me like a guy, any guy emoji. Leave it down below. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, be sure to give it a thumbs up. And if you're new here, I would love for you to subscribe and stick around. My social media is linked down below for you as always, my Goodreads and my Instagram, if you want to stay connected over there. I do believe my next video should either be my April and May reads, because I need to do a reading wrap up for those 2 months, or my summer TBR. I think I'll put a poll up and let you guys pick in the community tab, so keep a lookout for that. But I hope you guys are having a great day or evening, and I hope you guys have a happy Father's Day. And all the single moms out there, if you're being a parent for two, happy Father's Day to you as well. And I will see you all in the next one. Bye, guys.